Hi everybody, it's Alisamurray, and today we're in the Sweet Life Herb Garden, and I want to share with you all about drying your herbs. One thing that you need to know about peppermint, which is what we're going to do today, is that it is just absolutely crazy in terms of taking over your garden. So be very careful where you put it, because they really like to go. I just pruned these back not that long ago, and they have just, as you can see, really gotten out of control. So don't be afraid to just pinch it back or cut it back so that you can get it under control in your garden. We're going to take it to the kitchen, and I'm going to show you how to dry it and turn it into a wonderful tea as well. See you in the kitchen. Hi everybody, so now we're back in the kitchen, in the Sweet Life kitchen, and I want to show you what I've done. Earlier I took a big clump of my peppermint from the garden and I've dried it, and it's really easy to do. You just take it just like you have it here, except I want you to tie it up. And I want you to turn it upside down and let it hang like this until it gets a little bit crunchy. Once it gets crunchy, you can put it loosely in a grocery bag of some sort, just so that you can contain it so it doesn't fall all over the place in your kitchen. So I'm going to leave this over here for just a second. I've got a couple of things I want to show you with the mint. But the main thing I want to show you first is how to dry it. So we're going to come in here and we're going to untie this dried bundle that I've done. And this has probably been sitting in the kitchen drying for about 2 months. And it may not take that long where you're at, but you know, we've had, this was done way back in like February. And so this is one of those things where once you get it to this point, you can kind of do it when you get a chance to do it. But I wanted to save it to show you. So what you want to do is you want to take it in pieces like so. And you want to carefully put it into, you can do it in your blender if you want to. I like to do it in here because I can gently get the leaves off of the stems. I don't want my stems in my dried mint. You don't want that in your recipes. And once you get it stuffed in there, you can kind of start to gently crunch them off of those stems like so. And it should come off pretty easy. You just want to get the leaves off and get them down in there. And you just take it like that. See how easy it comes off, guys? It's just not that big of a deal. It does kind of make a little bit of a mess, though. And it smells really good. You'd be surprised, you know, whenever you've got mint. Mint's one of those things in the garden that, like I was telling you earlier, it has no problem taking over. So you have to kind of watch where you put it, because if you're not careful, it'll just take over everywhere it's at. And so once you get this in here like this, what I try to do is see if it's ground up enough in a coarse grain. And the coarse grain is the first thing I want you to do with your mint when you dry it. I don't want you to do it the fine grain just yet. And so what you can do with this, if you can see that, and let's see if I can show it to you. It kind of looks like this. This can then be put in little Ziploc baggies and set near your coffee machine where you make tea. And this is a good way for you to make tea from your dried leaves. Now this is good during the winter, whenever your peppermint may not be as, you know, prolific where you can just go out and grab it. I'm going to show you another way to make peppermint tea when you're using it with the fresh leaves as well. But now I'm going to continue to crunch this down and get it really fine, because fine is where I want it to be for using it in recipes. And you want to feel for little sticks and twigs and get it down to where it's just those leaves. And I've got it just where I want it. And so now what you want to do, you need to use one of those funnels. Let's see, give me a funnel. Pour it in just like that. Tap it in just like that. So you get it all in there. You know, herbs are expensive. I don't know, you know, how often you guys use herbs in your cooking. We use herbs in our cooking in the Sweet Life kitchen pretty much for everything. And you know, it can be expensive. So one of the nice things about learning how to do it yourself from home is you've got fresh herbs. You also know that there was no pesticides put on anything because you're the one that grew it. And this peppermint, dried peppermint, will actually last for a very long time. It's a beautiful color, and that's how you do it. That's how you do the dried part. I wanted to show you how to make fresh peppermint tea. And so what you want to do is you want to just take a couple of leaves, and you can put this on your chopping block like I have right here, and you just cut it up into little pieces. And for me, it doesn't bother me to have it there, like just have it there in the tea. But you would sprinkle it down into your cup, and then you could take this over to your machine where you make tea, and you could put it in underneath there and make a cup of tea. The other thing that I like to do with the peppermint leaves is I like to use it for a condiment in terms of the way that it decorates all of the different recipes that we do for desserts. A lot of times you'll see the chefs do that. They'll just take a little sprig of mint and set it at the edge of a chocolate brownie. It's beautiful with strawberries. It's just a wonderful, versatile herb to have in your garden.